Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys Board Gaming Podcast, the podcast you can listen to in less time than it takes to play Twilight Imperium 4. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
So are you just listening to it on these episodes then? Is that the only time?
Yeah, we've got other intro things for the sponsor ones, so I just to mix it up, keep it interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice bullshit that you've come up with, yeah?
Yeah.
100% my excuse for forgetting to do it on the first episode 2 weeks in a row, realizing it halfway through, and pulling it up to remind myself for the second episode.
We gave you credit for remembering to at least mention the sponsor at the beginning of the episode, but we clearly have not ripped into you enough for forgetting this.
Yeah.
I like how Zach could barely contain his laughter. So I really wish we could do this on audio, so you could see, or on video. I really wish...
Breaking news, Adrian. We are doing this on audio.
Did you not know that?
Wait, really?
What hole of your head do you think this is going into?
Clearly my nose holes.
It's not going through the mouth hole.
No, it's coming out of the mouth hole.
Sometimes you hear things so bad you can taste it. But
anyway, I wish we could do it on video so people could see as I'm doing the intro, Zach trying not to ruin the intro by laughing and almost choking to death in the process.
Ruin,
yes.
Oh, geez. Luckily, this isn't a super serious episode, so we could be silly, because this is our GenCon preview episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We'll be previewing.
Reviewing, yes.
All of the GenCon activities.
All of the previews fall under the purview of this episode. Unfortunately, I won't actually be going to GenCon.
So all of just stop talking now, and Zach and I can finish up the episode.
I'm hoping that if I can mention a game enough in this episode that interests me, that maybe they'll be kind enough to take a peek at it while they're there.
Well, walk by, be like, hey, there's people there. Let's go by.
Yeah.
Or if it's one I want to purchase, I give them money and then they bring it back with them.
No.
Oh, wait, what's this? You want to give this to us as a review copy? No, we're good.
Oh my God. Sons of bitches.
No.
No. Our podcast isn't interested in things like that. Please do not contact us on anything further in this regard.
You want to give us heavy games to review? Sir, you clearly misunderstand.
Your escape plan is not blue enough for our podcast.
Oh, jeez.
High School 2, however. Yes, you may be on the podcast. Yes. You are blue enough.
I do actually want to play High School 2.
I do too.
Might be on my list.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, so let's start this episode off here. We'll talk a little bit about GenCon plans in general. How you're getting there, what you're planning on doing besides just wandering the vendor hall, or include wandering the vendor hall potentially.
That's usually about 80% of our time there. Today I'm going to go on this side of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to go over there.
Yeah. Today is the rows, tomorrow is the columns.
So for me, my GenCon plans are that I'm going to Michigan for a wedding.
No, even before the Michigan wedding, you're moving into a new house.
Yeah, I mean, GenCon was always pretty unlikely for me. Because I knew about the wedding well before I knew we'd be moving this coming week leading up to GenCon. But GenCon this year, between spending the extra money to go to Lieria and going to Origins, GenCon was pretty unlikely for me at this point. Then,
especially because we weren't driving.
Yeah, we weren't driving.
Pretty much everyone's flying.
The way the rooms worked out, for a long time the rooms weren't secure for Zach and I.
Yeah,
and so it looked pretty unlikely for me. And then we got confirmation that my girlfriend Megan, her sister, chose this weekend for her wedding celebration, because actually she's getting married this past weekend. She got married out in California. Kind of a shotgun wedding, parents only kind of a thing. Yeah.
My sister did one of those.
And then they're having the wedding celebration back at their hometown. So we're going to the wedding celebration, not the wedding. But between that and buying the new house and all that stuff, GenCon, not going to happen for me. There's still things I'm interested in hearing about from GenCon, things I'm looking forward to getting more information about from GenCon, but I won't be there to do it firsthand. So that's my plans for GenCon. I'm going to be in a wedding in Michigan. So what about you guys? How are you going to GenCon this year? What are your plans? Where are you staying? What's the happy haps?
Okay, so I'm actually no.
What
Jeff,
fashion show are we on now?
I don't know. I don't even want to go to GenCon anymore. My whole month's ruined.
Yeah.
See, Jeff's was more authentic because Jeff was immediate. Yours was on such a delayed. I feel like Jeff's negative reaction influenced you to be even more negative to the happy haps.
Now it's worse.
Doubling down. Anyway, what are you guys doing?
Jeff is a social media influencer. So
Correct.
God, am I?
I don't think
the door is there if you want to leave.
I don't think any of us can claim that
we
title.
can't.
No. We have over 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
We influence people, but we do not influence social media.
I'm sorry if we influence you.
But I am flying out GenCon, and I'm flying.
You're flying straight to Indianapolis.
No.
I'm flying straight to St. Louis.
Kansas City, and then from Kansas City to Indianapolis, apparently.
At least that
okay.
makes sense in a series of hops. It's not like you're going Denver to fucking Atlanta to Indianapolis, which I've done.
Yeah.
It's horseshit.
Well, that's Atlanta. Were you flying on Delta?
Probably.
You're going through Atlanta.
You're going through Atlanta.
Yeah.
Seattle to San
Sometimes
Francisco.
you go through Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yeah. Well, that's
Seattle to San Francisco. Seattle, Atlanta, San Francisco.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. That's how Delta runs.
Yeah. But my flight, so I'm getting there at 11:30 a.m. So that means I'm leaving here at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, boy.
This is Wednesday.
Oh, boy.
I will say there is a small to fair chance that I'm just going to edit the episode that night and then just leave.
I'm betting on that being what happens.
Yeah. And then trying to sleep, flying Southwest. I've never flown on Southwest, so we'll see how that goes.
It's got a weird.
I haven't flown on Southwest in years.
Yeah, I know it's got that weird like free for all, but it's
boarding process.
It's boarding process, but you get to choose your own seat.
And
but I paid the extra $15 to have it just immediately do it for me, 36 hours instead of the 24 hours.
Okay.
Me doing it. So hopefully I'll get a decent enough seat, but who knows? So I'm going to assume that I'll try and sleep a little bit on the flight, and then get to Indianapolis, go to the hotel, the JW Marriott, and then probably take a nap.
Take yourself a nappy nap.
Yeah. While I wait for you guys to get there.
All us assholes to arrive.
How are you getting there?
I'm flying direct to Chicago on Tuesday, early, like 6 a.m. flight. Going to be spending the day with family. And then after Tuesday, I will be hanging out with the BFF CJ, the crafter of our intro music and logo of
the more digital logo,
the more outrunny logo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The long form logo.
Yes.
The banner logo.
Wide format.
Yes.
And then him and I are driving down to the Indianapolis on Wednesday.
So I did. Jeff is still driving to Indy.
Yeah, it's about 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours, something like that from Chicago. But I didn't fly. I could have flown direct to Indianapolis and then flown out of Indianapolis, but it was like an extra $400, an extra $200 each way, where flying in and out of Chicago round trip is $77 on Spirit. So I was like,
okay.
And I'm just going to hang out with family for a day.
There you go.
And I'll drive down with CJ, who's driving down anyways. And then we'll actually have a car down there instead of not. I guess other people might be driving as well.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my travel plans in case anyone needs to know those.
Right.
So now you know where to ambush Jeff.
And then most of the other people in of our friends are flying there at some point on Wednesday or early Thursday.
Bullshit Paul, Wes, Ant, David, they're all flying.
Yes.
They're all trying to be there by Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. I think David's getting there Thursday.
Yeah,
so.
but most of us have not been there on a Wednesday Gen Con. I've not been at a fucking Wednesday before Gen Con before. I go up on the first Thursday.
Yeah. Well, last year, Adrian got there early, right? You were there on Wednesday? Or was I thinking of something else then? Maybe was that a Geekway on Wednesday?
Yeah, there was there was a Geekway where I went the full weekend before and spent 3 days with my family and then did Geekway.
But I remember you getting I
think I got in late Wednesday night.
But there was a meetup or something like that. I remember pictures of you with Jake and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't remember where I stayed. I don't think we had the room yet.
Mm-mm.
But I did get there somehow well in advance. But I don't think I flew. Anyway, Continue.
We're all trying to get there Wednesday because that is the GenCon beer release from Sun King.
Which we have not done. We've had it after it's been released.
Yes. And Ant knows people at Sun King, and we've hung out with Sun King Brewery people in years previous. We weren't able to really hang out a bunch last year, but we did drop them off a bunch of cases of beer.
Indeed.
And then we weren't able to actually make it back to the brewery to hang out. The year before that, Ant and I got a 2-man tour with one of their barrel guys, and we drank a lot.
Shocking.
And
you don't say.
Yeah. So we're going to do the beer garden beer release hangout on Wednesday.
Wednesday is also like one of the industry days when you can actually get some behind the scenes access. I think only you'll be able to, Jeff, with your press badge.
Yes, I will.
Zach, you don't get to do shit.
Yep, I will have a press badge. Zach will be able to enjoy Gen Con by playing games. I will just try and press my badge against people as hard as possible.
Gross. That just sounds gross.
So the one thing you need to do that I regret not doing last year,
no regrets,
is Thursday you get access to the dealer. Well, every day you get access to the dealer hall like an hour in advance.
Yes.
So Thursday though, because that's the big like crush day.
Yes.
You need to get in an hour early,
Yes.
go check out some things, buy some games, do whatever. And about 5 minutes before the doors open, go to one of the main hall doors and start recording like as they open the door and the flood of fucking people.
Be right in front of the door, Jeff.
As close into the doors you can get.
Awkwardly close to the door and be like, just try and like get out through the people and swim through.
Get you a
excuse me. I need
get you
to
a
leave
GoPro helmet.
This and just have like 5 copies of Prelude on me.
See how quickly you get murdered.
Yeah. Sorry guys, they sold out already.
This Prelude's all there is.
I don't know how to hold all these Terraforming Mars Preludes.
Right on. Aside from normal shenanigans and early arrival stuff, you know.
I guess if anyone listening to this likes beer, they can probably hang out with us at that beer thing on Wednesday.
Yeah, go to the Sun King meetup on Wednesday if you're in and around Indy. You can meet Zach and Jeff.
No one cares about you. Unless you're a heavy gamer.
People care.
Unless you're a heavy gamer, and then you can meet Bullshit Paul, because Bullshit Paul's going to need heavy gaming partners.
Seriously.
For Gen Con, because we're not really bringing anything except Wes. Wes ain't a big heavy hitter on the heavy games most of the times, but he's the closest he's going to get.
Yeah, to be fair, Wes did recently teach some people in Boulder food chain.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Paul will be thankful for that, at least.
Yeah. But, Bullshit Paul's the closest to a Mile High Game Guys heavy gamer you're going to have there.
Indeed.
Anyways. So then, anything else of note happening for you guys over the course of the rest of the convention?
I'm gonna press up on that press badge.
Yeah.
As much as possible.
Correct.
Like, hey, I'm general media guy.
I'm generic press Jeff.
Generic press Jeff. Please talk to me. So I'll just probably go around and I'll probably spend a lot of time just in the exhibitor hall for a lot of the convention, just trying to see as many games as possible.
Sounds about right.
Meet people, talk to people. Remember that I have business cards and pack them this year, unlike last year.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, because we had got them right before Gen Con.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to throw those at people. I got the nice glossy, sharp edge, thick paper ones. I'll be able to at least be like, when I whip that at someone, I'll be able to...
Thanks for throwing the pen into the computer,
That's
Jeff.
fine.
That's for emphasis.
Emphasis.
Yep.
They'll at least remember the sharp, pointy edges as they hit them. That's what the most minimum impact I can want.
Literally. Just get that scar so they'll always remember you.
You remember me forever.
Right on. What other things do you guys have planned?
I mean, like, I'll probably honestly be with him for a lot of that, too.
Yeah.
There are certain things that are planned and scheduled.
Well, at the very least, so when he forgets his cards, I'll be like, all right, well, here's my card.
Yes, here's my card.
Yeah. We have some interviews planned. We've got
Jamie.
Yeah.
Stegmeyer with
Stonemeyer
Games, which will be entertaining.
Yep.
Probably, once again, the peak of our interviewing prowess that will happen at Gen Con, but we don't know.
We don't know. I'm curious to see what
else we have going.
So last year it was all about the Charterstone.
Yes.
And the airships.
We'll have the Rise of Fenris campaign expansion.
Yes.
/ last expansion. / last.
Yeah.
Legacy, but it's really campaign. It's 5.
It's just
5.
campaign, yeah.
Kind of like how there's the Power Grid campaign.
Right. Yeah.
And then the Euphoria expansion.
Maybe we'll see. Well, we'll definitely talk to him about Charterstone since we will have finished it.
Yes.
I don't think we might ask some like spoiler stuff at the end or something like that, but I'm pretty sure like general things about what we felt about things and stuff.
Right.
The vagues. We'll probably be like, we'll write down all the spoiler stuff and then we'll be like, Jamie, why did you do this?
Point
here. And then we'll have
here.
A series of responses that he can point at. Be like, I did it for this and this.
Tap once for yes, tap twice for no. Might chit chat a bit about his newly announced open world game.
Right. Yeah.
See what he's willing to chit chat about that.
Mm-hmm.
Southern Fried Chicken.
Yep.
Oh my God, Southern.
Uh-huh. Process of My Little Scythe, maybe.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. He's always a fun interview.
Yes.
You can kind of ask him whatever the hell you want.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably have one with Katie with her company that
PSG, the Plastic Soldier Games.
Yes. She's looking for slots for people to come and chit chat.
And for some of their war-ish games, but they're like
they're not hardcore war games. They're more like, hey, here's a game with war.
Yeah. More it seems more accessible. And then we're like,
yeah.
We're interested.
They've got some designers that you've heard of before that might be able to sit down there and then just
Plus, we'll get to meet Katie too.
Yes.
Yeah,
you already met her, right, Adrian?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've met Katie.
You will be able to see her.
Yeah.
And chit chat in person.
Yes.
And not just talk about Twilight Struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And how you should and how you should coup Iran immediately at all times as the Soviets. So that's move 1. And then just sort of like talk with interesting people and see if they want to do maybe a short recording or something like that, because we'll have the portable recorder with rechargeable batteries and a memory card that doesn't suck.
Correct.
Yeah. And then we'll do nightly GenCon wrap-ups as much as possible. We don't have a house with a nice back quiet porch.
Well, that wasn't a quiet porch.
There was a lot of crickets.
So many crickets.
So many loud outdoors cricket noises.
Sounds like I'm going to have to bring my laptop too to make sure we can actually release this.
Yeah, that'd be that. Yeah, go ahead. And, if you want to just go ahead and do that.
You sure? Are you sure?
You just put that on the list.
Okay, I'll put it on the list.
I'll have Blood Bowl all day Saturday, like 8. The first game starts at 8. Last game is done at 5.
So it's you, Paul, Ant, and David.
Yes.
Are all doing Blood Bowl.
Yes.
So I will be doing literally anything else.
I'm sure you'll swing by.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also have a friend that lives in Louisville that he's trying to come up, and I'm like, Saturday will work perfectly.
Perfect.
Because all my other friends are like fucking doing something, for so long that I can just do whatever.
You'll have Wes. You'll have CJ.
Yeah.
You'll have Bob.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
The CJ will probably spend all day waiting in line for Kingdom Death Monster.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I finally give him his Kingdom Death Monster dice I bought a year ago.
There you go.
About damn time.
You know what you should do? You should wait until you go to the Kingdom Death Monster. Like, has he forgotten about them, or is he still asks?
I have mentioned it to him. I'm sure he remembers, but I'm sure. Yes,
I would say
he's probably aware.
I would find it funny, obviously, if you waited until you got to the Kingdom Death thing, and you're like, by the way, here are your dice.
Hang on, let me get these out of my bag. Here's these things I bought for you, literally right here last year. It's been 365 days. Because you forgot to buy your badge fast enough.
And obviously, you have to wait in the line. You get up to the front and you're like, by the way, I don't actually want to buy anything. I just want to give my friend these dice that I already bought.
To be fair, I waited in line the whole time to buy dice.
Yes.
And that was not a short line.
Right, yeah. You should.
But now I'll understand all of the bullshit around the Kingdom Death Monster.
I will be interested
when
in
I went in there, I was just like, why are people waiting in line for all this horse shit? And now I understand why I need all this horse shit.
Because it's not horse shit, it's horse good.
Horse, but it might be made out of horse shit, but you get a cool item if you kill that horse shit.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Kingdom Death's great.
Yeah. He'll kill you 100 times, but that one time you kill him, you can get something good.
Yeah.
You're going to get a finger.
You get a finger that makes some sort of god knife out of his fingernail, but only if you rolled a 10. And as long as you rolled at least a 5+ on the roll before that to access that second table.
Yep.
Yeah. Adrian, you should play this game.
Yeah, it's totally up your alley.
I've heard it has output randomness that you enjoy greatly.
Well, if the Carthago review is any indication.
Yeah, and probably still not going to do True Dungeon.
No.
It's interesting, but it's expensive, and I've never had a group of people that want to do True Dungeon and be able to sign up for it 6 months in advance and pay $80 each.
Yeah,
and buy coins or something. And
it's like the price is the main. Like I would be interested in trying it out, but I don't want to pay $320 for 4 people to try it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That better be, and especially like sight unseen. I've literally never seen what this looks like.
Yeah.
I'm sure I might be able to find that somewhere, but it seems like they're pretty secretive on their stuff. People get competitive about it too.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
Ugh. They're going for like times and things like that. It's interesting. Open game library. Game library. Ant really wants to do the game library again. What was it last year? It
was on Lucas Oil Stadium, and it's still there, which is good.
It's still renting that place out.
Yeah. I think our biggest change from last year is 25% of our time will not be taken up by Pandemic.
Yes, no Pandemic this year. Want to try and get it into a more manageable size,
Portable size.
Yes,
not so much size, weight.
Yes,
because everything is wood blocks, which is nice, but it is not nice for traveling 1,300 miles.
Yes, right, and then hauling it to and from the convention itself too.
Yeah.
So.
And especially for the pain in the ass it's been to try and register it for the size that it is and where it is. We always had people show up and everyone had a fantastic time. But now getting it and running it and all that kind of stuff takes up a lot of time for us where we could be playing games that aren't a giant size Pandemic.
We will truly be able to experience a lot of the games, like including those old weird games that like Ant and Paul and other people did at one time. Like they were in some like weird like old games. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Was this where they were on Lucas Oil and just playing the bullshit games out of the library?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Where they played like the Goosebumps games and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Ants in your pants.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I want some of that. I want some ants in my pants.
Yes. All right. Ants. You'll have to talk to Ant about that.
Touche.
Get enough whiskey in him. I don't know.
At the very least, I did say ants, so he's going to have to find at least one other Anthony.
Get enough whiskey in him. You don't know what he turns into, but he'll be away from his girlfriend for at least 3 days.
Yep. At least.
Yes. Jesus.
It's playing games. So like exhibition hall's open. I want to be the pressing palms and handing out business cards, and then after that, I'm just going to be trying to play some games.
Yes.
See what's going on.
Hopefully
plans can always change. We're in some like penthouse adjacent room from one of Ant's friends has a penthouse of the Omni rented out sure, whatever that word is this year, which apparently he throws some sweet after parties that we might be able to get in on. This is the same guy, I think, that runs a Blood Bowl tournament out of his Michigan home that can sleep like 24 plus people and has a Blood Bowl tournament in his house.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Seems like a cool guy. That's where originally we got our room from.
Right. Yeah, I have a feeling that I'm going to be spending
most of your time in and around our room.
Yes. I will be going to my place for sleeping and like changing and putting things in there, but then that's about it.
Yeah. Storage.
Normal Gen Con behavior.
Yeah. Although it doesn't help. I did, like I said, I'm at the JW Marriott, and then we saw that you were in the Omni, and I was like, oh, where are these? Are they anywhere close?
Almost total opposites of the convention.
It's about 3 or 4 a block walk.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, great. Okay.
But it's all air conditioned.
Yeah, it's all air conditioned.
And they're connected with Skyways.
Yeah.
So it can only be so bad.
I can walk in the sky. That sounds like a great idea.
Yes.
At least that means not having to walk in that humidity.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think anything else, like maybe if there are like that drink, like remember that thing we went to last year with the roll and the gladiator game, but there was the dice rolling thing.
Oh yeah, Patrick took us to that. I think.
Well, it was the big rolling dice and taking names versus secret Ball
No.
versus Rodney. Like,
I think it was.
but it was like two different groups of board game media. One who was like,
Is this rolling dice in a bowl or is this a gladiator game
Yes.
or something?
yeah, like which one is superior, the actual game with the like custom piece or just rolling dice in a bowl?
Well, yeah, because it had the actual, like, you had a whole bunch of people playing the actual game. The other half were just rolling dice and bowls, and then the winner of each fought each other, and whoever won that,
Yes.
then
We did not see the end of that.
No.
But we met a bunch of people
Yes.
there. Isaac Childress.
Yeah. Yep, we
Who-
saw him.
he did something recently.
Hmm.
I think he did
I
some
don't
player
care.
mats.
Yes,
no.
it was the player mats.
Founders of Gloomhaven.
Yeah, founders of Gloomhaven.
Yes, that is the Gloomhaven that everybody cares about. It's
Indeed.
founders.
I haven't seen a game of that, so I don't know what you're talking about.
And a bunch
well,
of.
it's shipping now. I think Paul just got his copy.
I think it's
I'm pretty sure Paul and Jeff's copy is in a state of eternal limbo.
a
of
limbo
just-
somewhere in Westminster
it's just transiting transiting. Just
over and over.
a guy gets the box, hands it to another guy. That guy hands it back to him, and they're just doing it over and over.
Yes.
But yeah, no, there were a lot of cool people there.
I bet he's going to have a bigger booth this year.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
It was a pretty small booth
Yeah.
last year.
I don't know. Depends. Like, I mean, he still really only has 2 games. It's not like he needs a ton of booth space.
But he's
he has
got-
3 games technically. He did a game before Gloomhaven, King's Forge.
Oh, really?
Yes,
But this one
A little more
did
popular.
pretty well.
Yes, it did.
Yes.
We'll see. He'll probably have the Gloomhaven expansion there,
Yes,
which I'm looking forward to seeing.
I am too.
Just what that game Gloomhaven needs. More content.
You guys really harmonized on that one.
Indeed, we did.
Gloomhaven, the most board game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's all kinds of events and things like that.
Yes, yeah. We have never been one to be like, I'm going to go to this scheduled event and then go.
No.
No, we've been very.
The closest that was 2 years ago when Zach and I went to the How to Do a Podcast thing with Rodney Smith, Tom Vassell, and Jamie Keegi.
Yep.
And it was an entire 2-hour session of well, we've done everything wrong.
Yeah. It was not how to do it. Here's what you did wrong with yours. Oh, okay, good to know.
Since then, we were like, fuck scheduled events.
Yeah. Well, not just because of that, but yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, any of you listeners who are going to be at Gen Con, get a hold of us. And you can coordinate to meet with Zach or Jeff.
Yeah.
Say hello.
Say hello.
I'll give you a business card.
He'll give you a business card.
And we've got a substantial amount of vinyl stickers.
Yes. Do we?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Which means you can put one on your car if you want, Zach.
I don't know. We'll see.
So, now that you guys know what Jeff and Zach are going to be doing, and technically what I'm doing, in that I'm going to be at a wedding
You're
in
going to know what he's
Michigan,
not doing.
Yes.
Is any of that
that
shit that we're
other
doing.
stuff. Now we can move on to talking a little bit about board games that are going to be at Gen Con. So let's start with the games that we are interested in buying here at Gen Con 2018. For me, this is heavily theoretical. Since I won't actually be there, these are the games that I might.
Is it the theoretical because you're not going to be there, or theoretical because you would theoretically have enough money to buy?
Both. Both. I will probably I'm going to narrow this down to 5 games, and in theory there are a couple on here that if you guys have the opportunity to pick up, I might have you grab, but there's nothing this year that is like, oh my god, I wanted it at Gen Con so far.
Yeah, so far.
They're like, oh my god, I want to be the first owner.
Yeah.
Almost all of these are ones where it's like, I'm fine waiting a few weeks and catching it on Amazon for less than MSRP.
Yeah. We still have 2 or not 2 weeks, 1.5 weeks.
Yeah.
To it, so there can still be a lot, especially like Fantasy Flight is like a
They
the
always
week of,
right
if
at the
not
end.
not of during on Friday of Gen Con. They'll be like,
So.
and by the way, this is out now.
Yeah, they'll have their flight thing that
Mhm.
they have a special name for that they'll release surprise
in flight report or
Right.
something
Yes,
like that.
that's what it is.
But yeah, so let's jump through these. So Jeff, you said you have 3.
Yeah, not many that I'm really
Okay.
looking forward to buying. Clearly, number one by far, hands down, no question, Terraforming Mars Prelude.
Yeah.
There's no way that's not going to be there. It
Right.
better be there. I will definitely buy that for sure.
Prelude, depending on the actual cost that Stronghold's got it for, I'm same boat.
Yes. Well, I definitely am I really want to play that. Hesitant about buying just because I don't have
Your copy's still never been played.
my copy's never been played. I don't have the Venus expansion.
Yeah, I don't have Venus either.
And I also do not have any sort of organizer or player mat replacement thing.
Yeah.
on,
You have
so-
not made the investments.
No, I have not. But I will push Jeff towards buying it as quickly as I can.
Terraforming Mars Prelude is definitely something I want to leave that convention with. Hopefully, I will be able to get it.
Yeah. Hopefully multiple copies will leave in our group.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Zach, what about you? What's like one of your top ones? We did this in complete bass backwards, starting with like, this is the one thing. But fuck it, we're rolling with it.
Clear answer. Number one.
One that I would be interested in seeing, is Forbidden Sky is actually going to be for sale there, apparently.
Yeah.
Yes, that's definitely on my list.
And
it
it
is
has
on mine as well.
and it uses electricity in the game. Like it actually has a battery component, which apparently, like originally, from what I heard, they're like, we never want to do that, but then they're like, this game's so good, I think we're gonna have to do it anyway.
Interesting.
And it's only $40. It's a surprisingly affordable.
Yeah, I liked Forbidden Island. I was like, for what it was,
Yeah.
I really liked Forbidden Desert. That was a game that you could it was a game that you could come back to. Like Forbidden Island felt more of an intro game. This Desert felt more like I don't want to say actual game, but just a more
It's deeper. It's a little bit deeper.
It's
game.
not only a little bit deeper too, but it was for all like people of all skill levels could enjoy it, especially because cooperative, all that stuff. And so I'm really curious to see how this one's going to turn out.
Yeah, I could see that.
And like I'm all for gimmicks,
Right.
And using electricity, I'm like, sure, like completing circuits or some weird thing like that.
Yeah, I get the gist is you're trying to connect cables to launch your rocket. I assume the circuits and cables will be battery powered or visually represented
Right.
somehow.
Yep.
Right on.
Yeah.
So I don't have one above all that super stands out to me. You know, part of me wants to be like Root because I've heard it's a great asymmetrical area control kind of war game. But Root for me is definitely I want to try before I buy.
Ant has that one coming from
Yeah,
Kickstarter
exactly.
as well.
Yeah.
You already mentioned Forbidden Sky.
Mhm.
Lowlands is going to be for sale there, which we've talked about in the past. It reminds me very much of like an Uwe.
But it's it's available it's available now outside of GenCon too.
Exactly. Same with Wendake. I don't know how to actually pronounce it, which is like a Native American game set around the Great Lakes. So I think the one that's going to be available that I would be the most interested in. We talked about this a little while back on when it was a Kickstarter, and that's Railroad Rivals, which is like the 18xx tile kind of shorter, faster game coming from Forbidden Games. They actually will have the full wood tile version available there as well.
Has Forbidden Games done anything else that I'd know? That name sounds familiar for some reason.
Raccoon Tycoon.
Is that the one you're talking about instead?
No, I'm talking about Railroad Rivals, but they also did Raccoon Tycoon. Raccoon Tycoon will be available for demo, which we'll talk about demo games we're interested in later. They also did Extraordinary Voyages Pirates.
Okay.
But I'm not really familiar with that one. No, Railroad Rivals looks like a fun little train game-esque tile laying game, 30 to 60 minutes, 1 to 5 players. That's, tile drafting and laying, which sounds like a fun way to bring more of a train game feel type of game to game night. Like, I feel like it's one I could actually find people to play with more regularly. That might give me some of that same feel of a good train game. What else are you guys interested in? Jeff, anything else that you wanted to specifically mention?
Yeah, I don't think the Gloomhaven expansions, I think, is just there for preview.
Which, I mean, even if you bought, like, we wouldn't play for years until we finish.
Yeah.
But I definitely am interested. Yeah, it's for demo right now. So
yes, the Ice Cool 2 is going to be for sale.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. It's only $30.
Mm-hmm.
The game wasn't that expensive to begin with. I don't think any of us backed Tiny Epic Zombies.
No, we did not.
No. That'll be for sale.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one on my... I'll try it out. I'm sure they'll have a demo. That's their biggest Tiny Epic thing coming out this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was about it for purchase.
Right on. Zach, what about you? Since Jeff apparently doesn't have shit he wants to buy.
The Mind, maybe?
I mean, you can buy the...
Yeah, the Mind should be there for sure.
Yeah.
So some of the ones I'd be interested in, one, technically, the network executives, except I already bought it, but I'm going to pick it up there.
Oh, okay.
So that will... if anything, that will be
I
the only thing.
cannot wait to play that.
I know.
There's executives and more executives.
That,
right?
Yeah, and I'm hoping to just. They also did the Teletime thing too. I'm gonna see if I can buy that there too, but we'll see. Illusion, which is like the next game after it was by a sequel to The Mind, basically.
Okay.
And it's sort of a pattern recognition game, but you're trying to figure out certain things. I'm not sure yet. It's playing with your eyes with color and perspective and stuff like that. The cards look weird, and so I'm curious to see. It's like you're trying to figure out how much which one of these looks the right for color wise and stuff like that. Like, does this picture actually have the 22% green or something like that? So I don't know. Like, you're trying to guess which ones have the most. I don't know. It's a pattern recognition game, which I tend to like those unless they go super Stroop heavy, in which case my eyes are just like, nope, done, full stop.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Next one is there's one called Trash Pandas. It's about raccoons.
I don't know how I missed that one, but I love the name.
90% of it is because I want to buy a game that has that name.
Yeah.
But it's sort of a push your luck card game where you're trying to knock over cans and take goods and then stash them away before.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's one of those cheap card games. I think that it'll be cool. But if anybody knows that I bought the deck building game, a good name goes a long way for a cheap game.
Selling you. Yeah.
The last one, which I didn't realize, apparently Werewolf Legacy is going to be on sale there.
Yes.
So
at least according to BGG.
Yes. So that may happen. I don't know.
Okay.
It's like $60. So that's a lot.
Yes. I want to know more about that before I commit to it.
That's also my thing too, is like, I want to hear some people have played it, especially playing Charterstone. I've realized that I like cooperative ones more than I like competitive legacy games.
Fair enough.
And so I want to know, is this just more of an experience one?
Well, yeah, and so that is my biggest question about Werewolf Legacy is this a game? So many other legacies benefit greatly, I feel, from having a group play it together consistently.
Yes.
Like the same 4 people play Pandemic season 1 or season 2 all the way through. The same, 6 people play Charterstone all the way through. If Werewolf Legacy is that way, where like you need to consistently get the same 12 people, hard pass.
Well, I feel like it's also like each like legacy campaign is like 3 games, and it's like multiple things of that, where it's like 3 game things. So
that might be more interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Like I definitely would need to talk to them about it to be like sort of sell me on this,
because I need it to be like Werewolf already is for our group, where it can be like an end of night. We're gonna throw it together where ideally this legacy version, there's a quick catch up where the moderator be like, all right, last week all this shit happened. Now all of you are different people in this village who are now picking up somewhere.
Well, I don't
know.
For how many people have been wanting us to bring back Werewolf consistently, I would really hate to be like, all right, we are bringing it, but it's just going to be these 12 people. I'm sorry, you can't join.
You are out forever.
Yeah.
Because Werewolf has always been a great way that people have gotten brought into our group.
Oh, 100%.
Like, that's where they get to know different people's names and personalities and shit like that at the end of the night when everybody's drinking and it's fun and makes people feel welcome. So yeah, it needs to be very supportive of not having to be the same core group.
Last one is technically 2, but they're releasing the 2 newest exit games, which if they're there, I will buy those 2.
Okay.
So.
Cool. Right on. For me, the other ones we haven't mentioned, like you already mentioned Forbidden Sky. I'm super interested in that. Like I said, I mentioned Root, but I know people are getting it here through Kickstarter, and I want to play more of it before I get it. But speaking of Exit, which is Marcus and Inca, they have Queensdale, The Rise of Queensdale.
That's a Legacy-esque one, too?
It is another Legacy game, yes. And so in Queensdale, it's a Legacy style, so I don't think it's full Legacy.
Because I'm gonna say if it's not a Legacy game that has the word Legacy in the name, I'm not interested.
But essentially, yeah, you're all kind of building these towns similar to Charterstone. In theory, probably not in practice, but you're building up towns. The thing that makes me a little hesitant with this one is it's got dice, and they're upgradable dice. But I also really liked that mechanic in Dice Forge, and I wish there had been more game to Dice Forge to go along with that. So I really like a lot of what Marcus and Inca have put together, and if Queensdale can work out well and the upgraded dice can work well in a more full and fleshed out game, that sounds awesome to me. I like Legacy style. I like feeling like my actions have long-term consequences. I feel like Legacy is kind of a natural progression from what I like in a lot of video games. And so, yeah.
Legacy is the hardcore mode that you like.
Correct. I mentioned Lowlands and Wendake earlier. Those both sound really interesting to me. They've got very similar art styles and everything. Wendake is coming from Renegade, Lowlands from Z-Man, but they're both fairly widely available elsewhere, so I don't feel like I need to get them at Gen Con. Another one that I'm really interested in, like, if I was going to Gen Con, this would be one I would absolutely make a point to go find a chance to play, and that's Nyctophobia from Pandasaurus, which is the game where you play like blindfolded, moving around on the board.
Oh yeah, I remember us talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're using your feeling, your
touch, yeah. And so they have it for sale, or they're going to have it for sale. But that would be one that I would definitely want to play and kind of, get my hands on, since it's a game about touch, and just kind of experience that. But it sounds like something I want to own. So
I'm not feeling it.
I didn't go pun heavy enough, and so you filled it in.
Yes.
Right. Anyway, those are the ones that I'm interested in, actually, that are going to be available for sale at Gen Con. So, that aside, especially since a lot of these ones are going to be for sale there we've previously talked about, let's talk about the things that aren't going to be for sale. The things that are going to be for demo. The things that are going to be previewed. The things that are going to be shown off. Jeff, you got some games that you're interested in that are going to be not available for purchase at Gen Con?
Or that you don't plan on purchasing.
Or that you don't plan on purchasing. Sure.
So, there's a lot.
Uh-huh.
I think Scythe Rise of Fenris is going to be there. I'm not sure how much they're going to demo that, but I would like to kind of, look at it.
I would also agree with that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can accomplish that.
Yes.
During the J.
He usually has the games there. Like he had a full, the only copy of Charterstone during the interview that we could poke at.
Yep.
With a stick. They'll have Duelosaur for demo. Probably get to try a Duelosaur demo.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that one and Totally Liquid.
The expansion. Yeah. The Detective Modern Crime, I think, is going to be there for purchase.
It is for sale, yes.
But I would like to try that game.
I would like to see. I'm assuming you're also like, does Portal have its mojo back at all?
Let's see how. May I look at the rulebook, please?
Yes. Can a human comprehend this?
Yes. Fireball Island is going to be there.
Just want to see it.
I just want to see it.
Can I touch it? Can I touch it?
Right.
Just
City of Gears is going to be for demo from Gray Fox. They'll have.
Haven't heard of them.
They've shown off some of the cool minis. There's like a Juggernaut mini or something that's huge.
Yeah.
I want to check that one out. The Tiny Epic Zombies that I saw before.
The what?
Tiny Epic Zombies. I want to demo it. If it's good, I might buy it. 2, 3 weird games that I want to try. There's this game called Warhammer 40K Heroes of Black Reach. It is for sale, but it's going to be like $70.
I'm assuming it's going to be a big box.
Yeah, but it's like tile laying on a board of your different vehicles, and it's like orcs and space marines. I
mean, I know a lot of people like the Heroes of Normandy game, which it's based on.
Yeah, so that could be pretty cool.
And the art on all those tiles looks really nice.
Yeah.
So
this looks a little cluttered from what I've seen of the 40K art.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of icons and other shit.
The other one has that too.
Dragon Ball Z Power Up is going to be there.
What about the over?
I didn't see that one.
You didn't see the over 9,000?
No, I saw the Power Up, and it was like it reminded me of The Price is Right. With the little yodeler,
the yodeler
climbing
the Alps.
Yeah, climbing the Alps. Except it's Goku.
Is he still yodeling? I really would like him to yodel.
Yes, yes, correct.
And is it the 80-year-old Japanese woman that voices him?
It still is. There was actually a trailer for a new movie coming out, and I was like, that sounds like an 80-year-old Japanese woman.
That is just.
And then there's a Judge Dredd game coming out called Block War.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Is it like comic book?
Comic
Dredd,
book?
or
yes.
okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, not Stallone, but I meant like Carl Urban. Carl Urban.
It is comic book style.
Okay.
It is not Carl Urban-esque. There's not much out there for it, but I've been reading a lot of the Judge Dredd comics, so I would look. It seems to be a card game with a variety of blocks and such.
That is Dredd art. Yeah.
Yep. So that one's for demo there. That I would be interested in looking. It's apparently super quick, like 15 minutes, 2-player game, based in that 2000 AD ass setting. Of course, looking at Gloomhaven
expansion. Yeah.
I like the Networks expansions that I'm really interested in. Ice Cool, that Samurai Jack game is supposed to be there as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of little bits and bobs everywhere. Hopefully, I'll make time to actually see them.
We have so much more time now that we're not doing pandemic. So.
Well, that's
so
at night.
much.
Yeah, that's at night.
But at night we can play games and stuff instead of doing it during the day. We can
Yes.
actually look at those things.
That's true. Oh yeah, and there's that Battlestar Galactica like mini like spaceship combat game.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be there as well. I have to have one at least mini game in there. And I'm sure
OMG.
Fantasy Flight will have a bunch of bullshit. I didn't even mention anything Fantasy Flight's doing because I'm gonna go fucking look at it anyways.
Yeah. Yep.
You just fill that blank in
Mm-hmm.
because that's what's gonna happen.
Yes, it is.
Maybe I'll buy some Runebound expansions.
Oh, geez. Now he's talking about stuff he wants to buy.
Yeah.
Maybe buy some card sleeves.
You might be. You can probably catch up on Arkham Horror like you would like to.
I have 2 Arkham Horror. The LCG.
The LCG.
I
sorry.
actually still have 2 small box expansions for the board game I still need to pick up. They still print it.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh God. But it's like full price
Mhm.
ass convention prices
Exactly.
for those expansions.
It's rough.
Ugh.
Right on. Zach, what about you? What are you interested in demoing, playing,
A lot of
not
things he
necessarily
said.
buying?
A lot of things he said. I'd be interested in seeing the Clank in Space Apocalypse
Yeah.
expansion.
They always have a cool booth
Yeah.
too.
Yes, they do.
Fuck off.
Adrian, did you play Adrenaline with us?
Yes.
Okay. Did you play Adrenaline?
Mm-mm.
You were the one. Okay. So they're having an expansion for it called Team Play DLC.
Okay.
So it's going to add basically a 5th and a 6th player,
Okay.
but you can also basically split up into teams and then fight against each other.
2v2v2 adrenaline sounds awesome.
Or 3 versus 3.
I think 2v2v2 sounds better. I like the just like one team versus the
Yeah.
other. I like the
Right. I'm
vaguely gesturing with my hands to indicate that I like more than two
I just want
things
to let the listeners know that they had as much of a clue as I did. So that one I'd be interested in seeing. I know none of us own that game, but I did enjoy it, our one play of it.
Yes.
There is a couple. So the Reckoners, the Nauvoo game, about that book that has all the really good inserts. I just want to see that insert because I'm always a fan of the game trace inserts.
I had put that down on my list,
Right.
but was like, eh.
Yeah. The Rick and Morty Rick Shank Redemption deck building game.
Yes.
Want to try that one out just to see, because I've played a decent amount of those Cerberus games from Cryptozoic. Curious to see if this one, if it gets elevated at all, or if
Fair
it's
enough.
just that with the Rick and Morty theme. I want to see the Pandemic 10th anniversary box.
Yeah, they'll have
case.
that in a glass case somewhere.
Oh yeah, and then there is 2 games. There's there's another Aliens game, another Glorious Day in the Core.
And it's not an expansion to the mini game
Mm.
that they put out.
No,
Okay,
I mean it's a mini game. It's a cooperative game based on the Aliens movie.
gotcha.
I don't know much about it, but
I know they had those. They had like a tabletop miniatures game for a long time,
but it's not that.
okay.
Minis look good though. The couple that they show.
Yeah, I saw the mini game last year,
Right.
and that also looked good.
Yes. So I'm just curious of seeing it. It looks like it might be $50 or something like that.
Gotcha.
But it's by Gale Force 9. So they did
Okay.
the Firefly. They did.
Whenever anyone says Gale Force 9, I always think of wargaming accessories, because they started out doing like wheel markers for like your blocks of Warhammer Fantasy units to like
Gotcha.
wheel a certain amount of inches. You had a marker that would actually like curve, and you'd be able to see how many inches it was actually wheeling,
Oh, okay.
because it's hard to actually measure that when you're
Right.
coming off of a specific point.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, they did a lot of that.
They
kind of
did
stuff.
that. They've done a lot of the themed, or like movie themed games and stuff like that,
Gotcha.
or TV themed games. And then there's also something called guerrilla marketing.
Is there a gorilla?
Yeah, there are a bunch of gorillas.
Nice.
Yeah. So basically it says you have a CEO that, like they're advertising their advertising agency has a problem. The CEO is just like, they're very stupid. It's like, I could just replace you morons with gorillas and get better results. Well, he does. And you're the gorillas. And it's like 50 years later. And so basically it's about naming ridiculous products, naming ridiculous things, and then coming up with slogans on ridiculous things. And it's a party game.
Okay.
So it seems I would be curious in seeing that, because I always like those funny ones that aren't too stupid.
For sure.
Yeah. This last one, it's called Holding On: The Troubled Life of Billy Care, which it's a cooperative game where players work as nursing staff tasked with providing care for the terminally ill.
Sounds like a real
I know.
great upper of a game.
Yeah.
Super dark.
Yeah. And you're looking at like this, your latest patient is Billy Kerr. He's 6 years old and is given days of live. You must work together, provide him with appropriate care, responding to medical emergencies while gaining his trust. Over 10 scenarios, you will need to piece together a lifetime of memories while being drawn deeper into his troubled past. As you discover more about Billy, you can help him find the courage required to confront the 3 regrets that have kept him holding on. It's definitely not this sounds fun.
Just like this War of Mine.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, that's a pretty interesting theme, and I'm curious to see if it can actually work with that. So
okay.
Oh, and then also the Arboretum has a new edition too. I want to see those pretty cards.
Look at some trees.
Yes, some goddamn trees.
Okay. For myself, there are a few games that I wish I could see while I was there, if I was there. A couple of them you guys have mentioned, so I'm just going to kind of move on from those. One that I am definitely interested in checking out is Gray Fox's latest Kickstarter that's going to be fulfilling right around GenCon, or shortly after GenCon, City of Gears.
Right, yeah, that's the one that Jeff mentioned,
Yep.
yeah.
Raccoon Tycoon, another one that's going to be demoed there. I know Heavy Cardboard just fairly recently did a live stream of it. It's supposed to be another kind of really light train game-esque one that just wrapped up its Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle.
That's having the Dueling Club,
Yep,
right?
Dueling Club.
Another
Yeah.
expansion.
And since Megan loved Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle so much,
Have you gotten the first expansion yet?
we have not.
Okay.
No. Big Book of Monsters or something like that.
Well, if I see that in the Ding and Dent, I will let you know.
Yes.
Because there is another expansion besides the dual one that is announced as well. It's the one that adds culling, or is this what I'm thinking of?
No, that's the Big Book of Monsters, I
Yeah.
think, that adds culling, which is their first expansion that's already out.
That came out last year, though.
Yes.
I thought there was another expansion.
Maybe this one adds it.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't looked too closely at them.
I don't know. This one turns it into like a competitive, so 1v1 or 2v2,
Oh, okay.
which I think could be interesting. Startropolis, we talked about fairly recently on news or Kickstarter. I can't remember for sure.
Kickstarter.
Yeah. And
That's
that's
the one where you build the space
you build
station.
the space station with actual like 3D printed components that snap together. That looks really
Mhm.
cool. Condottieri, which is actually a very old game. It's from 1995, but Z-Man is going to be very soon publishing an updated art component rule version. It's not even going to be available for demo. It's just going to be on display at the Z-Man booth. But it's a auction bidding bluffing game for where you're trying to control different regions of Italy
Mhm.
that I've heard really good things about for a long time. And I think an updated new version is awesome. And so I wish it was actually going to be demoed, but it's not. So I would be curious just to see the copy they have there to get an idea for what kind of art and components they're going to go with for it. Yeah, those are the main ones. There's really not a lot at Gen Con, and this is part of why I'm okay missing Gen Con. There's increasingly not a lot at Gen Con that super interests me for my particular gaming tastes.
Yeah, anything that gets released there.
Yeah.
Things that you'll like tend to already be out, or they'll be like
Released
demos
at Essen.
for Essen. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had my eye a little bit on Phoenix Syndicate, which is like a futuristic space game where you're doing some route building and things like that, or Coin and Crown that's building ancient civilizations by drawing coins randomly out of a bag that determines like what your available funds for the round are. That one sounds interesting, but drawing things randomly from a bag, not always the best. Yeah. So not a whole lot that really jumped out to me this year in the demo section. There were a couple in the buy section, but demo, not as much. So
I forgot to mention Star Realms Frontiers, only because I'm already getting it, but it'll be there and you can buy it.
Right.
I'll probably still go over there. What do I buy this year from them to get promo cards?
Right.
I own everything. All I can do is come up to them and be like, I literally own everything. Oh, you know what? They're going to have some crazy long box to be able to store all of Star Realms
There you
in.
go.
Jake from Draft Mechanic got that. And he got his Star Realms Frontiers in already. And I was like, you
Son of a bitch.
But he also got that crazy long box for storage.
Nice. You purposely don't buy everything, leave like one thing so you can go there to get the promo.
It just always seems they have something that's not released.
But
I'm not sure what they'll have this year.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
What up?
Just imagine you're like, here's my wallet. All right, what are you giving me?
Just give me what you got.
Yeah, give me what you got.
Well, anything else you guys who are actually going are interested in aside from specific games or anything? Any publishers you're looking forward to talking to?
Fantasy Flight will always have their surprise.
Right.
Any thoughts on what you think the surprise will be?
I would like an expansion to Civ. I would like an
Ooh, that'd be a
expansion
good
to
one.
TI4.
Mm-hmm. And any
Well, I'm
TI4
curious
expansion is going to be brand new.
Yeah, especially new race. It would be completely new races. I'm curious to see what new LCG they're going to have there.
Right.
They'll have the last 2 years they've had surprise. We've not announced this game, and it's for sale.
Yeah.
It was Mansions of Madness 2nd edition, and then Twilight Imperium 4th edition.
Right.
But the Twilight Imperium 4 was technically a little leak.
Right.
But
I'm also
turn that gamma up.
I know, right? Turn that game up. I'm really curious because I know they're releasing Android Netrunners. I think they're releasing their
last expansion.
Their last expansion there. I wonder what they're gonna, because they still have all the the mechanisms of it is theirs, but they lost the IP. I'm curious if they're gonna try and use that again, but with a different IP.
I thought they actually lost the mechanisms.
Did they?
The mechanisms are what's owned by someone else.
Well, I mean,
and then they own the Android.
They own Android.
They own Android. They don't own the mechanisms because they got the mechanisms from an old game called Netrunner that has been popular for a long time, and that's what they're losing.
Yeah, I had it switched the other way. Yeah. Okay, well.
Ruh-roh.
I was going to say, like, it'd be perfect time for them to be like, it's Netrunner, but Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh, they'll have Star Wars Legion shit there, exactly. I'm sure. They're just starting to...
Because remember, they announced that last year, too.
Yeah, we got them set up all the boards.
We were like, what are they doing? Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a Star Wars mini game. I have no interest in that, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd like to play it, but that's about it.
Yeah, but I don't want to buy, assemble, paint, and play a tabletop miniature game. It seems like there's so many of those kind of games that you need enough people to play against, and you just never seem to have it.
I mean, it was
the community around it's hard to build.
Yeah, it is.
But you have that for like X-Wing.
Yeah,
but you didn't have that for Armada.
How many times do you think we're going to go to that fucking Irish bar thing that we always go
for lunch?
Yeah, for lunch.
Kilroy's.
Well, let's set the over-under
at
3.
I feel like 3 would be a good number, but
3's probably.
Well, that's why it's the over-under.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to go over or under that.
Maybe we'll go to like Massachusetts Avenue, which is an Uber away, and see what's over there. That's where I went in the years before. And there's a bunch of good beer and food places over there.
With Adrian not being there, we can finally branch out and try new things.
Oh my God, you motherfuckers.
The nice thing is Kilroy is like a ton of food for a good price and close.
And their beers are reasonably priced.
A ton of good food. Like everything I've had there has been like, that was good.
Yeah.
It's not like amazing, but it's
bar food.
Exactly.
But it's good bar food.
Good bar food.
Yeah. A fuckload of tater tots.
Fuckload of those buffalo chips.
Yeah.
Which are really good.
Pretty damn good tater tots.
You can get small pitcher of what are their crazy Long Island? They have like 40 different Long Islands you can order there
Jesus
or something.
Christ.
Yeah, it's what all that shit is up on the wall. You can get like a small pitcher of that just for your mouth.
And you'll be nice. Nobody's gonna have to drive back from the con. Like to their hotel.
Correct.
So yeah,
my over under is. I'm guessing over. I'm gonna go over. I think
over 3 visits. Okay.
Over 3. I think we're gonna be locked in. It's gonna be close.
Here's the thing: is that if I say over, I'm pretty sure we could force that.
Oh yeah,
That's the thing where I'm like, I don't want to say like.
That's why you need to say under, so there's contention.
No, because I definitely think 3 is the minimum.
What's gonna happen? what's going to happen is we're going to be hanging out the Sun King beer
garden,
and then we'll be like, Kilroy's right there.
Yeah.
And then we just go there.
Especially because every other thing is super packed, but that rarely is.
Yeah, there will be a wait every once in a while.
Yeah.
It was hard to find a table that one time.
That's because we had except for but I think there was something else going on too.
Yeah.
So
I think it was GenCon?
No, I said something else. Something else. It was what it was lunchtime at GenCon. That's what it was.
Yeah. There was some other sporting event going on as well.
I think that's it for me for right now.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to see anyone famous?
I mean,
board game famous or
board game? Like, yeah. Are you talking board game famous or
Will Wheaton is there regularly? Never seen him ever.
Yep.
I mean, everyone from like Dice Tower.
Yeah.
I've seen them like 5 times.
Most of Shut Up and Sit Down. Yeah, but how often have you interacted with most of Dice Tower?
I've interacted with them 0, but guess how many times I've wanted to interact with them?
Shots fired.
Pow pow.
Same boat. I can't count the number of times I've been like,
hey, that's Tom Vassell. Hey,
Tom Vassell.
Who cares?
Moving on.
Their content is not for me, but it is also not pointed at me.
True.
Directed towards my needs.
Any board game video thing is not pointed towards you.
I watch Shut Up and Sit Down is entertaining for their one thing I've seen.
One thing.
No.
People make videos that are good.
Yeah, no, they make good videos. No Pun Included makes good videos. Yeah. Saw them last year too.
I've seen faces of people before.
You mean I've pointed those faces out to you?
Correct. That's why we keep.
That's also why I'm there.
Why
Adrian,
Zach is within 4 feet of me at all times.
I'm the handler for Jeff. I'm gonna be
He's
like,
my
okay,
handler.
This is this person. They've done this, and this.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
This is.
That's going to be the worst thing about the 1 hour Jeff has before the doors open every day.
Like, I don't know anybody.
That's the point.
Yeah.
You just go up to something I'm interested in and talk about it. And then I learn who the person I'm talking to is after talking about what they're doing.
You're this famed designer who's done all of these
But I don't need to
things.
go up to be like, hey, you, tell me about your thing. I want to be, hey, your thing. Tell me about your thing. And also, hello, who are you?
You just talk to the game. Game, tell me about your designer.
Yes. I'm sure people appreciate that.
Yes.
That I'm more interested about their shit than them.
No, yeah, 100%.
Right on. I think that pretty much wraps most things up.
There's a chance that these tickets will sell out again this year.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been floating that around.
Yes.
I thought they sold out earlier.
They sold out way earlier last year.
They did, yes, but that was also I think the first
time they've ever sold out.
Yeah, first time ever.
And it was the 50th.
And it was still they sold roughly the same amount as they did the year before. This year I think that had a lot more to do with it's the 50th.
Yeah. No, 100%. But I'm saying the fact that like they're still like we're almost out of stuff. So if you're interested and haven't bought it,
just be safe and buy it soon.
Hopefully buy it before you hear this because 4 days the 4-day passes might be out. In 4 days the 4-day passes might be out.
Correct. But we had a couple listeners chime in on the thread.
Yes, we did.
Over on BGG. We didn't have any emails or anything else. We just had the BGG responses. So, Zach, do you have those?
Mike says, what is your wild speculation over what Fantasy Flight will release? Which
we kind of already addressed.
I'm curious what new game's going to come out.
Yeah.
The Fallout expansion probably won't be there.
Maybe. It might be there.
Maybe.
XCOM 2.
Wild speculation.
That is wild speculation.
I
like
Yeah. I hadn't thrown that out there, and I was thinking of like Final Fantasy Flight games that have been out for a while that hadn't really had any updating or expansions or anything in a while.
Some Cthulhu thing.
Do you think a new Star Wars game?
No.
What can they do?
Because it was Rebellion and then Legion.
They have X-Wing 2nd Edition, more Legion expansions,
Armada.
I don't know how much farther Armada's going to go.
Yeah.
They still keep releasing little bits here and there.
Imperial Assault's already a thing.
Maybe a new Imperial Assault big box expansion.
I can't imagine a new Star Wars.
I mean, I could see
expansions for basically everything that already is out there.
The Star Wars card game has been out like
LCG
discontinued for. I could see them trying to bring that back, but I think there's enough stuff going on.
And they don't do the CCG, right?
No.
Okay. No. Destiny? Star Wars Destiny?
Oh, the
collectible.
The dice game, CDG.
Oh, is it a dice game too? Okay.
They do that. Yes.
All right. Okay.
Twilight Imperium expansion.
Yeah, and we were saying earlier, like all new, it would be new races or new mechanics.
There are some things they could still bring back from TI3, but like in terms of mechanics. But
Yeah.
it would definitely be it would be new races, which would
Distant Suns.
Distant Suns. They could bring the mines or whatever other bullshit.
They could bring back at least 3 different political officers for every race.
Yep. Yeah.
Really slow that shit
Really
right down.
yeah.
Really screech that to a halt.
I feel like they're leaving those out just because of how long it is once it starts.
Yeah. And then the political phase actually doesn't even happen until later in the game anyways now.
But yeah, all right. Those are some
Cthulhu shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there will be a Cthulhu themed something or another there.
God, I wish Cthulhu would die.
I'm sure we'll see that giant ass Cthulhu mini. From,
that's got to be there.
Yeah, from Simon.
What's over under on yes or no? It's over under on yes.
That's not how over under works.
Does it work like to go over yes, please?
Does it not go in a binary choice on over under on that one?
No.
The over of yes is no. So either way, you're choosing.
The rest of Mike's comment reads.
Before you were big time reviewers and publishers just threw review copies at you, what did you budget for new games? What helps you decide what to try versus get, and versus what can you wait for retail?
So I need help here, guys. I don't understand one of the words he used.
Budget?
Budget?
Budget.
Budget?
I see the word bud in there. Is it something weed related?
It must be.
We are in Colorado.
Because that's how I just get really high and then buy games and hope for the best.
You get high and then
you
get
yeah.
you get games. Yep.
And then you get more high. Yeah. Okay.
Seriously though, I've never budgeted for Gen Con, especially.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know about you. A little bit of that budget is how much money do I have left in my account?
That is the closest thing to a budget I ever have. It's like, all right, I have to pay this much for the hotel room. I have to save this much for food. I won't get paid until this long after I get home. How much can I spend? Okay, everything in my bank account?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
It really depends on what's available.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that really cool stuff you might not be able to even
Exactly.
get.
Yeah. I try not to plan to get anything there. So that way it frees me up for like ding and dent stuff where it's like, oh shit, this is there? Sure, let's get that.
I'll get that for half off.
Yeah, yeah. Most of my purchases are impulse in life. So
the big thing that's really like stood out to me over the years that I've done Gen Con is like how much I've realized going out of your way to try and buy like the new hotness is never worth it. Like I remember racing around, like, you know, doors open, flooding in, racing over to the upper deck booth and buying Legendary Alien and Predator, and then them sitting in shrink on my shelf for like a year.
And then them being easily available to purchase for almost the rest of the convention.
Yeah. I don't like waiting in lines to buy things. Yeah. So I will just if I see a big line for something, I'll be like, oh, I'll just go do something else. Nothing very rarely has ever been something like the giant line. I will still wait to get that.
Yeah.
So it's less of a like, you know, publishers throw games at us so we don't have to plan on this, and more like I've just gotten more judicious with what I'm willing to throw money at.
Also,
it's rarely brand new shit that's like marked up at its highest cost it will ever be.
Also, very generous term of publishers just throwing games at us.
I mean, Origins, I came back with like 8 games.
Yes.
So
really, they've only thrown games at Adrian.
Yes.
And really, it was just to get me to go away.
I mean,
and also, like,
I have given you a lot of games, and unfortunately, it's at your house when I give them to you. So I'm like, here, and then you're like, thanks, set it down. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. He can't just go away now.
Yeah,
and
I have to
and
go.
most of them
and you've handed them to me. You have to throw them. You got to hit me in the head with a game, and then like get out of here, sir. Don't throw fucking laminated sheets.
You don't want that nice corner?
No, I don't. I don't want sharp laminated corners frisbeed into my face.
Most of them were also your payment for
yes
working there.
Yeah, very few of them were review games. Most of them were I did things to get those, but
you don't want to know what he had to do to get those.
No. The next one is from Andrew, and I will explain what it means in a second. After yeah. I'm really excited about Legacy Legendary Flick 'em Up. It's not real. I've heard Paul already bought an early copy.
It's Slack jokes.
It was some Slack joke stuff.
Because there's always a new version of Legendary something, and there's always a new Flick 'em Up.
And there's always some new Legacy game.
And now there's a new Legacy Legendary Flick 'em Up.
Exactly. I'm also interested in Hanamikoji.
As you should be. Great game. We already have it already been on our list.
Yeah. The Downforce expansion.
I like Formula 1.
I've wanted to play Downforce. I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coimbra.
I'm kind of
Which
on the
none of
fence
us
with
mentioned,
Coimbra.
but
yeah,
it's
this-
high on the hotness
Oh,
of
yeah.
Gen Con.
Welcome to.
great game.
Adrian and Paul already have it, and
Yeah.
they have laminated copies. So what's
Infinite welcome.
Well,
Yeah.
Paul's doesn't have his yet.
but he will.
He's
When
going
he
to pick
gets
it up
that-
at Gen
yes.
Con.
He owns a laminator now.
yes, he does, which he wouldn't let me use. Technically, he would, but I had to go get it printed elsewhere. The Arboretum reprint, and oh my god, Uwe Rosenberg, stop it with the Tetris games, because
Uva, but yes.
Uwe.
Yes, there will be a new
spring, no, summer, fall. Which season is he on now? Spring Meadow, I think this one is. There's
That's-
Indian Summer,
Yeah, I
Spring
can't.
Meadow, and then something else.
The big one that I know of, so Newsfjord was fairly recent. Rycolt's coming out. Indian Summer.
Is that this one? Indian Summer? No,
no, Indian Summer is still even fairly old.
Yeah, then it's there is another one that he's releasing. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. He's doing one. I watched it on the Dice Tower top 10 upcoming games, just so I also knew what games were coming out.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah. And that's it.
Right on. Yeah, so that's what we're looking forward to for Gen Con. If you want to let us know some things you're interested in or why the things we are interested in are bullshit and stupid and we shouldn't care about them, you could jump over to the thread that Zach was just reading from over on our Board Game Geek Guild number 2731. You can always send us vicious, mean emails.
emails at milehighgameguys.com.
You can find us on Twitter, where I tweet under @MHGameGuys.
I am Zach_MHGG.
And I'm Jeff_MHGG.
And we have Facebook and Instagram /MileHighGameGuys. So plenty of ways to get a hold of us and tell us all about what our opinions are worth to you when it comes to Gen Con releases. So
Yes.
we will have one more episode that we record before Gen Con, and that will be the Wednesday episode. It will be the last recording in this studio. Basically, Megan and I close this fucking Friday. So when you're hearing this episode, we are closing that day on our house. And then we have until like Tuesday to get moved the fuck out of this apartment. And we're moving the studio last. So we're recording Monday.
That's going to be weird.
There's going to be almost nothing in this house when you guys come over for that recording.
There might actually be room in the studio for once.
I mean, there's already more room. I don't know if you noticed that one of the mattress is gone. It's just the box spring now.
There's no TV.
The TV's moved. It's still in here.
He's right there.
Oh, okay.
But then we will be following up the rest of that week. Friday episodes and things like that will be all Gen Con live stuff from Zach and Jeff. Some interviews, some daily diaries, that kind of thing.
Interviews might be later. I don't know.
Yeah,
see.
we'll
At
see.
the very least, we'll do a record. I don't know how late we're going to be. Because remember how fucking late we were up
Yes.
the last times, and each time they got progressively.
I sure
Oh, yeah.
do.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
Oh man,
So prepare to be inundated with Gen Con
rough
content.
rough edits, if at all.
Oh yeah, yeah. As is tradition.
Yeah.
So yeah, that pretty much sums everything up. Thanks everybody for listening. As always, I've been your host Adrian.
I am still Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
That was bad.
Jemph?
Just bad.
Jeff.
No, I get it. I get
No,
it.
we all got it.
Geneva Jeff. Is that better?
No,
No,
Lake Geneva Jeff.
that's no
further away.
further
That's
away.
what's the original names from.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gen Con was originally
And Lake
'cause it was
Geneva.
It's not General Convention.
It was Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Quick aside. So what you need to do, Jeff, is like, because I'm sure Paul wants it, you want it, so you need to set up an interview with Jamie. And if you can't do that, you need to make sure and take at least one bottle of Baptista.
You
Or not Jamie, Steven.
There you go.
Yes.
Take a bottle of Baptista. Whether or not you get the interview, regardless, take a bottle of Baptista. Agree to buy 2 copies. Give him the Baptista, get a third. So buy 2, get 1
Or
of Prelude.
be like Baptista for 1 copy, and he'll be like, maybe, sure, and then you get your own copy and you're good.
Yeah.
Or if you get 3, then we all share a little bit of the discount and he gets a Baptista. And it makes us all look good.
Or you can make yourself look good, Joe.
Huh? I am Mr. Epic.
I think it works better if you're like, I'll buy 2 and give you a beer in exchange for a 3rd one free. And fuck, you can keep the free one. Paul can certainly pay for his, and I'll pay for mine. But we should still get a free one.
I don't know why he's getting so mad at this.
I don't understand why you're so objective to try to get one.
I don't.
Huh?
That's bait.
God damn it. God damn it. Anyway, back to the show.
I'm never one to be like, free game, please.
Yeah.
But yes.
Punchboard Media, where we all
bring something
to the table.
Pull up a chair
at punchboardmedia.com.